Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about every DCU project and what is going on with each project, whether it's a confirmed project or a rumored project. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos later this year. So if you haven't watched any of my recent videos, go check them out. There's a bunch of videos to do with different DC topics. If you guys have any suggestions of any videos you want me to start making on the channel, please be sure to do it. We're kind of in this limbo stage right now where we're just figuring out what to do after the end of the Arrowverse. So in today's video, we're going to be breaking down this Reddit page that was posted on DCU Leaks. I'll leave the link in the description below so you can go ahead and read the Reddit page yourself. But basically this page just goes over every single DCU project that is confirmed or rumored right now and what the current state is. So we're going to go over it, talk about the films, talk about am I excited for those films, do I think these rumored films are actually going to be made, or is it just not going to be an actual thing. Also there's TV shows and animated projects in the mix. So first off, let's talk about the films that are coming out very soon and also the TV shows. So we got Superman, which is the second official project that is coming out. Obviously we had Creature Commandos already, that came out at the end of last year. Season 2 is coming for that, but that's going to be a while. And so Superman is coming out in July. Obviously it's like the first major film that is coming out. It's going to be kick-starting the DCU, and coming after that, I don't know exactly when, but sometime in 2026 I would presume, is going to be Peacemaker Season 2. Now Peacemaker was part of the DCEU before, but it's technically considered DCU now. They haven't fully explained exactly how everything is going to be, but you can presume just because it's like James Gunn characters, they're going to make sure it fits into the DCU. So let's talk about the next project. So Supergirl Woman Tomorrow is currently being filmed right now. That is the most recent project that has got underway over at DC Studios. We know that that is going to be released on June 26, 2026, so that is going to be the second film in the DCU. Next up after that, we got Lanterns, which is a TV show that's supposed to come out in 2026. The TV show is starring Kyle Chandler and also Aaron Pierre as Green Lantern's Hal Jordan and John Stewart respectively. It's actually written by Tom King, Chris Mundy and Damon Lindelof, so that's a really, really good set of writers. Also the show is being showrun by Chris Mundy himself, and currently right now there is actually no release date, so it's supposed to come out sometime in 2026. You would presume it's maybe similar timing to Supergirl Woman Tomorrow, but that's going to be a TV show, so that's going to obviously be a little bit on a different schedule. But let's talk about the films that are in pre-production that are getting ready to start sometime in the next year or so. So first off, let's talk about Clayface. So we had news about the new Clayface film that is being written by Mike Flanagan himself. I'm a big fan of Mike Flanagan, so this is definitely one of the projects that I'm most looking forward to, especially because Clayface is kind of going to be like a horror film, but set in the DCU, so probably toned down a bit, but it's still going to be that kind of Mike Flanagan gothic project that you're used to seeing from him. So that film, as of right now, is currently scheduled to release sometime in 2026. I think it's September, and this will most likely be the third movie in the DCU. So following on from Clayface, Waller could potentially be the next TV series, and this is another project that is currently in pre-production. We know that Viola Davis, who appeared as Amanda Waller in the DCEU, will return, so again, kind of a soft reboot on that. But that is currently being written right now. And moving on to the next film, this is something quite different. This is Sergeant Rock. This is not a DC project or a DC comic book that is very popular. So this is actually a project that potentially Daniel Craig could be starring in. And this is because Luca Guadagnino of Call Me By Your Name, Suspiria, Bones and All, Challengers, and also Queer last year, is actually going to direct this project, which is absolutely insane if this does go through and he directs it, gets Daniel Craig on, and it looks like a Luca Guadagnino film. Like, that is a whole nother level of comic book filmmaking we're about to see. Like, you can almost guarantee with just how weird a pick Sergeant Rock is for Luca Guadagnino that this is just not going to be like anything else we've seen in the DCU. Well, obviously we've only seen Creature Commando so far, but by the time we get to Sergeant Rock, when it's released, potentially sometime around 2026, I think it's going to be completely different. I like that James Gunn is letting directors do their own things, bring their own styles to the DCU, and I feel like maybe James Gunn is going to be that unifying voice where it's like, okay, if it's a James Gunn film, that means it's a big film for the DCU. Maybe he does Justice League further on down the line, he does Superman obviously and Superman 2, and maybe he picks like one or two other big characters to do, and then all these other directors come in, they shoot in their own way, and they're allowed to make it look different from the other films and the other TV shows, but then we always go back to James Gunn and his style as like that kind of centerpiece. So that's just obviously a theory right now, but filming is expected to begin on Sergeant Rock in late 2025. So potentially this year we could be going with Clayface, Waller, Sergeant Rock, and Lanterns. Obviously Supergirl is in production right now, so that's kind of a bit separate, but those other ones are in pre-production. So let's talk about the potential projects that have been mentioned before, but we don't have like dates yet or when filming is going to start or absolute confirmations on a lot of these projects. Some have like rumored directors, some have rumored writers, some have rumored stars. So these projects are coming down the line, but they could easily be cancelled because they're not in pre-production right now. Like they're not getting ready to start filming sometime in the next year or so. So the first project is the Untitled Blue Beetle series. So this was announced just the other day that they are still working on this, that the Blue Beetle from the DCEU will be returning, but he's going to be returning in animated form. So this is a TV show that is going to be coming sometime in 2026, I think is the aim. And we know that contracts with the main cast were said to be in flux, but DC Studios have received positive responses when asking the film's cast to return in their roles that obviously we saw them in the DCEU. So again, this is a project that is not separate from the DCEU because they will be bringing back a lot of those actors. And I've got to say, I'm happy about this. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing the Blue Beetle cast come back once again because I was a fan of the film. I mean, it's not my favorite DC film overall. Like, it's a good film. I enjoyed it. And I think it just was a victim of its timing, its release. Because we had the strikes, the actors couldn't even promote the film. It just really kind of went under the radar, especially after the release of the Flash film. So let's talk about the next project. This is Swamp Thing. This is supposed to be a film that's being directed by James Mangold. Obviously, James Mangold just recently did the Bob Dylan film, so he's been pretty busy. And just like Mike Flanagan's project, this is supposed to be a horror film. It's supposed to be on a lower budget. And quite honestly, when James Mangold is ready to get going, I think this is going to get done pretty fast because it will be a lower budget project. And we know that James Mangold has begun writing it, but it remains to be seen if he shoots his Star Wars film before he does this. So that's definitely a project that I'm really looking forward to. I'm a fan of Mangold, and I think Swamp Thing is a really interesting character from the comics. The TV show is great, and I'm looking forward to seeing a film about it. So let's rattle through this list because I don't want to keep you guys here too long, but Teen Titans is a film that's being written by Ana Nogueira, who worked on the Supergirl screenplay. She's the writer of that, and this Teen Titans film has the potential to be huge. It would be potentially the biggest team-up film to date at the point when this is released. So you could see major characters that we're used to seeing in Teen Titans like Robin or Dick Grayson, Starfire, Cyborg, Raven, Beast Boy. There's also been rumors that potentially Kid Flash could be part of that team. That would obviously be our first appearance of the Flash in the DCU. That would be obviously very exciting. This is actually a live action project. We got Titans as a TV show, but this will be quite different because it's Teen Titans. And so there is the potential for it to begin shooting in late 2025. However, that has not been confirmed, and it could very well be sometime in 2026. So the next project is an animated film, and this is Dynamic Duo. We don't know too much about this, but this is a project that was announced a while ago, and we know that they are aiming for a spring release in 2028. So that's a long time off. Dynamic Duo would be kind of Batman, Robin centric, and yeah, it's a cool title, but that's a ways off, so let's not get too much into that. Now, a project that has been talked about a lot is The Brave and the Bold. We know this is the Batman film that they're supposed to be doing in the DCU, and as of right now, it seems it's been delayed a little bit just because of Andy Muschietti. So really, we don't know when this is going to be released. And also, they haven't cast Batman yet. It's definitely not going to be Robert Pattinson, guys. I hate to break that to you, but Robert Pattinson's just going to stay in Matt Reeves' universe with the Batman Part 2, obviously being his next major project. And for now, The Brave and the Bold, it's quite a mystery, but we're definitely going to hear about this in the next year or so because we need to get going with this development. Like, Batman is so important to DC, and having a DC universe without Batman is just kind of crazy. So if I was in charge of DC Studios, I would be fast tracking this project right now. And if Andy Muschietti is too busy, like, get rid of him, get another director. So many directors that can offer a lot rather than just Andy Muschietti, who directed The Flash, and obviously The Flash wasn't beloved by a lot of people. So, you know, I don't think there's any harm of moving on if he's not going fast enough for what James Gunn wants. Now let's talk about the last couple of films. So we got The Authority. This is a film that was rumored a while ago. It was actually confirmed officially in that Chapter 1 video a while ago, but we don't know who is actually coming to direct that film, or if that's going to be a James Gunn project himself. It seems like with him introducing some of the Authority characters in Superman, he could potentially be getting involved in that film. So right now, we don't know much about The Authority, but we know that is part of their plans. Paradise Lost is also part of their plans. There's a TV show that's supposed to be a Wonder Woman prequel series, and right now we don't really know anything about it as well. So that's kind of like the pattern of these last few projects, including Booster Gold, which is supposed to be a TV show and was announced back in that Chapter 1 video like those other projects. But again, it's quite the mystery as to what stage of development The Authority, Paradise Lost, and Booster Gold are at. So let's move on to a couple of rumored projects. So one rumored project is actually from Darren Aronofsky, which would be amazing. And again, that kind of tracks with them getting like big directors in, like Mike Flanagan, like James Mangold. So if they got Darren in, that would be insane. Like, he would make such a good film, no matter what it is. Probably kind of go to the horror side of things, I would guess. But the film that he is supposed to be working on, and this is just a rumor, is Plastic Man. That would be quite the interesting project, I feel like, and I really like the idea of it, weirdly. Now let's talk about another project. So this is a possible foreign language film in Korean, which would be great. I would love to see a film in the DCU not in English. That would be great. That would set it apart from the MCU and any other universe, because we've always stuck to English, so why not do something bold and different? Korean cinema is huge right now. Why not get Bong Joon-ho to come in, or another big director in Korea? And the potential project here is a Huntress film, which I feel like is just a great idea, and I'm all in for that. I love Huntress as a character, but also I love Korean films and I love the Korean language, so why not? So another project that was mentioned by James Gunn that is currently held up in development and is being held off for a while due to the Flash film coming out recently is the Flash project. We don't know if this would be a film or a TV show. You can predict it would probably be a film, although obviously we know the success of the Flash on TV. We literally know nothing about this project, but obviously a lot of us are theorizing, okay, what could it be like if James Gunn actually went to Grant Gustin and was like, please come back, we need you, Flash. And the final rumored project is a James Gunn written project that he confirmed not long ago, that he just started pre-writing a certain project in January 2025, but he didn't confirm what project it is, whether it's one that's already on the schedule or if it's a completely new project. But for now, that remains a mystery. So that pretty much does it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was quite informative. Again, if you want to read through all of this, see the text version of what we were kind of reading out and kind of spinning off and giving my analysis and my thoughts and opinions on, that is the Reddit link that you'll find in the top link in the description below. But for now, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment. It would really help this video get out there. Also subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. But for now, you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.